Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at rounding. These are the steps that we need to follow when we round. First, we find the digit in the place that we're rounding to. So this is why it's important to know place value. Then we look at the digit to the right. If it's 5 or higher, we're going to round up. If it's 4 or lower, we're going to round down, and we do that by keeping it the same. We round down by keeping it the same. So let's take a look at some examples. Here we're going to round to the nearest 10. So first we look for the tens place, 46. So the 4 is in the tens place. We look to the right and it's a 6. It is 5 or higher. That means we're going to round up. So the 4 has to increase to 5, and everything after it becomes a 0. So what we're saying is that 46 is closer to 50 than it is to 40. Here's another example, 344. If we want to round to the nearest 10, we find the digit in the tens place, and that's this 4. We look to the right and check out that digit. It's a 4. It's not 5 or above. That means we're going to keep the 4 in the tens place the same and make everything after it a 0. So 344 rounds to 340. So here, 344 is closer to 340 than it is to 350. Here's another example, rounding to the nearest 10. The 2 is in the tens place. We look to the right, it's an 8. So it is 5 or above. So that means the 2 needs to increase to a 3. So it becomes 30. 28 rounds to 30. Let's look at some more examples. In the next set of examples, we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. So first we need to find the thousands place. So in this first number, the 1 is in the thousands place. We look to the right and it's a 0. It's not 5 or above. So that means the 1 stays the same and everything after it becomes a 0. So 1,099 is closer to 1,000 than it is to 2,000. Here's another example. If we're rounding to the nearest 1,000, we find the thousands place. It's the 4. Look to the right. It's a 9. And 9 is 5 or above. So that means that we're going to round up to 5,000. Here's one more example. Again, we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. The 0 is in the thousands place. We look to the right, and that is 5 or above. So the 0 in the thousands place is going to go up to 1. So we round up to 11,000. Everything after the thousands place becomes a 0. So 10,972 is closer to 11,000 than it is to 10,000. Let's do one more example. Say we have something like this. 5, 9, 9, 5. And we want to round to the nearest 100. So first we need to find the hundreds place. So this 9 here is in the hundreds place. We look to the right and that is 5 or above. So that means we need to round up. But this 9 in the hundreds place is already as high as it can go. So we need to round all the way up to 6,000. Okay, in order to increase the 9, we had to go all the way over to the next digit. So 5,995 rounded to the nearest 100 is 6,000. And that's our process for rounding with whole numbers.